Hey everyone, it's Nancy, and I have been experimenting and playing in my craft room. And the reason for that is I wanted to try to find something different and something different to work on, because it's always like the same thing. So, in my room, I have this jar that is full of keys. All different kind of keys, like skeleton keys, old house keys, just keys, lots of keys. So I wanted to alter some keys and see what I could come up with. I wanted to take an ordinary key and make it more shabby chic and something that I could use in a project rather than just having them in a jar. So the keys that I used a key like this, just a normal key. I used a normal key like this, like a regular old house key. I used a key like this. It's an old office key. And then a key like this. Little tiny, like little lockbox keys. So let me show you what I did. Now, to do these, I think that everybody pretty much has what you'll need to do this. Most everybody has old keys. The other thing that I used was acrylic paint. These are Ranger Dauber paints in just lighter pastel colors, more shabby chic colors. So I used these colors, and then I used the Folk Art Crackle medium, and I used this vanilla Craft Smart paint, just an off-white or white, whatever color you have, it doesn't matter. So these are what I used, and then I also used some Tim Holtz, the Distress Embossing powders. I got a couple colors of these, and just again running in that shabby chic color line. So what I did was I took the keys and I painted the key front and back with one of the paint daubers. And the reason I like these by Ranger is that these are permanent on metal. I don't know about other acrylic paints or whatever, but I know that these are, so I knew I would be safe in using this on the keys. So I painted the keys in the colors that I wanted them, and then I went over them with the Crackle medium and let it completely dry. And then after they were dry, I went over with a watered down version of this. This paint is really thick, and it really doesn't work real well with the Crackle medium unless you thin it down. So I thinned this down so that it goes on like one brush coating, because as soon as basically as you wipe over the item with the Crackle medium, it's done, it's crackled, and you can't back brush. So the paint needs to be thin enough so that you can really do that. So after I had them painted with the daubers, and then I used the Crackle medium, and then I went over with this, and they were dry and they were all crackled and beautiful. That's when I went in with the Distress Embossing powder. I like these because they don't leave a smooth texture. They're really textured feeling. You can really feel it. So I used the Distress Embossing ink, and I just like take my finger, put it on the pad like that, and then just on the key, just touch it here and there, not all over. I mean, you can put the key in there, you can do whatever you want, but I didn't want it completely covered. So then I mixed a couple of different colors of the embossing powder on a piece of paper, and then I just dragged the key all through it like this on the paper with the embossing powder. And what I get is, say for this key right here, let me find it, is this. So this is my distressed key. It went from this to this. See how cool that looks? And you'll be more likely to use this key than you would this key. Has great texture, and you can really do whatever colors you want, and you don't even have to do the embossing powder if you want. If you just want the crackled key, that's cool, just do that. The keys like this. See? Like this. They turned out pretty cool. And this is the other side. And I just tied some seam binding on it just to help me to hold it when I showed you and to give them more of a finished look. But I'm thinking, I mean, you can do stickles, or you can add flowers or bling or whatever you want on them. Here's another one. I love the way this one turned out. And this one I used some of the patina rub and buff to give that teal color on the key. And I used some gold rub and buff too. Oh. And then on these two, I stamped on them. So after I had used the embossing powder and all of that, then I stamped a script stamp on it. Turned out pretty cool. See, I would use this key. I would not use this, but I would totally use this key. And here's another one. I think they turned out cute. And then the other style of key, this one, this key, we have these. Turned out pretty cool. And this one doesn't have as much embossing powder on it. Just do it how you want it. Here's another one. I stamped on this one, just with a script stamp. And they're so textured. I really like that rough texture on them. And then for these little keys here, here's one. Really cute. Then here's one. Again, really cute. And you can make these, you know, to match your project. This is the first one I did, this little broken little key. This is my experiment. So, but just, you know, get out what you have and get out some old keys and create some texture on them and make them fun to use in projects. I have a lot more that I want to do, and I have a lot more ideas of what I want to use to do with these keys and stuff, but it's really super easy and super fun. And if you alter some keys or whatever, I will really want to see them. So anyway, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.